And like, if you want to remove things from the arena of moralism, or like, trying to engage with politics like it's a terrain of morality, which is always fraught and usually difficult to do, and you're on thin ice whenever you do that. But I'm just thinking strategically here. If you're so desperate to vote and feel good about it, that you'll look the other way on something like what America is doing to Gaza, and not the Republican Party, not Donald Trump, but the Democratic Party of the United States of America, like the American government, what they've done to Gaza and the Palestinian people for the last 9 months, then really what you're saying is like, what can't they do that you wouldn't support, and that they won't assume that your support is already baked in? Because if they can get away with doing that, like, I mean, where's the line for you?
Yeah.
And does that put the progressive movement in a stronger position than before? I mean, I don't know. Make me the argument here.
Yeah, and it really is. It's all of a piece. There's no sequestering this issue. It is all of a piece. Yeah, people in England thought Keir Starmer's mostly good except for this Israel stuff. But you know what? He's soft left. He'll be fine. They are starving children. They just signed the Starve Children Act.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's always of a piece.
That's the other side to this here, is because like, you could say that like, oh, like it must be nice to be a one issue voter, like to have the privilege to be a one issue voter.
Oh, your purity test
on like, because like, hey, like you live in this country and I care about the rights of people in this country, which would be imperiled by like, Project 2025 or whatever. And fair enough, that's true. But the flip side of this is like on Israel, or like foreign policy more broadly, but Israel specifically is such a perfect stand-in for everything else. Because like, how can I trust your judgment on, I don't know, an earned income tax credit for fucking, 2-child households or whatever, if they're willing to go along with this shit?
Right. If you think human life is that expendable, I don't trust you on anything.
Or again, like, how can I like trust you that, like something I've engaged with other women about? How can I trust your political project to, I don't know, do anything about standing up for women's reproductive rights if you're signing on to, support the killing of women and children in Gaza?
Or that you're willing to imperil that fundamental right to keep this ongoing.
Yeah,
to continue to kill women and children in Gaza.
Yeah, these arguments are really morally disgusting to me. And again, like, it's all part of the same moral project to me. Like, you can't build walls around these things. And people asking you, especially like, I get this vibe from women voters, people asking me to choose, abortion rights that haven't been protected over, the continued genocide of Gazan men, women, and children is disgusting to me.
Once again,
there's no evidence to support that the Democrats will do anything about it anyway. So you're asking me to make this like black box choice that there's no evidence to support, will pan out any. Yeah, it's.
And again, as I've said before, like, this is my show, so I'm offering my opinions on like, what I will or won't do when it comes to voting in this upcoming presidential election. But as far as you, listener, or anyone even who hears about this, I'm not the fucking voting police. I'm not hopping in your mentions if you say something positive to be like, well, you support genocide much? Like, that's lame to me. I'm not trying to jump down anyone's throat here. I'm just trying to explicate or make clear what I believe and why I think Kamala Harris is not doing it for me. And I laid out what she could do, despite the fact that she is wholly unexceptional and bad on most other domestic, political, and foreign policy issues. I just told you the opening of which I would swallow my pride and vote for her.
And she's not going to do it.
Like I said, I'm willing to be surprised. I am willing to be surprised.
Every time that Democrats fail to, cut off aid, the price of the vote goes up.
Yeah.
Yep.